my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 Yeah. I am light. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. All light. Yeah. All light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Welcome this morning. I am so happy to start this morning off so full. It has just been a full week. This week, last week we had our Juicy Spirit consecration for the newly initiated round of Juicy Butterflies who are near completion of their 6 months rites of passage. And I tell you, we went to a high place over the weekend, so high that my husband and I got on the plane, haven't fully come down because I went directly into Fix My Life, and I haven't had a chance to process it. So today, actually, we have some treats for you, and we have a very juicy lineup, a very abundant lineup, and I would like for us to hang on this morning for this space. And if you are new to the call for the very first time, I am your host, LaTanya Taylor, affectionately known as the Rev Coach, the Juicy Spirit Mama, the priestess of purpose, pleasure, and passion. You are welcome in this space. Welcome home, sister. You are my co-host because this is not a space where we just come to take. So many of us are used to being told and talked to, and instead of being shared with. And sharing means that I offer something to you, and you can offer something to the space. And so this is very important because oftentimes we have gifts locked inside of us. We have information that the Spirit brings to us as a result of what you've heard. And I call it the Mary and the Elizabeth relationship. that when your sister comes forth and you know she's carrying something that blesses you and that you're carrying something too, you will feel your belly jump. So that's exactly what we do in this space. So I don't want to tarry too long this morning because we have a loaded space this morning. I want to encourage you to hang on. But I have to bring on my dear sister, Reverend Sister. I don't even have to. If I start talking too much, then the message around the law of attraction will start from me. But I'm in a new season of learning how to receive and how to just let it happen and unfold. And so I have my sister, Reverend Sister, who is here to bring us the main message, and I have some sermonettes that are following her shortly. And so I would like to bring on my beloved social media marketing genius, a sensei in every way, a spiritual sensei, but also a physical sensei in the martial arts. I could go on, an Intervisions ordained minister, my partner in not crime but abundance. How about that? If abundance is a crime, then damn it, lock me up. But my partner in business creation. And I'm going to tell you, when you find someone in your business, those of you who have businesses that can see you, who want you to win, and both of you can set up opportunities for each other to win, you want to rock with that and be there for each other. Don't ever abuse that. And so because of that, I bring to you, she's not new to many of you. You've heard her voice before, and if you haven't, the next sound you'll hear is from Reverend Sensei Sabira Folami. Are you there?
I am here. Good morning to everybody. Good morning,
sis. Good morning.
Well,
take it away, sister.
Yes, thank you so much. I just want to start, first of all, by giving all praise and honor to God, Mother, Father, all that there is, God, by giving praise and honor to my ancestors who made it possible for me to be here yet another day, another year, and to all of the ancestors who I know are very present right here and right now. So I give thanks. I give thanks for all that they have promised. I give thanks for all that they did to get us here, and I give thanks for all that is coming. Today we are going to be looking at the law of attraction. And it came to me to talk about the law of attraction from a negative space. And I want you guys you ladies, my sisters, wait, hold up. Before we start, let me say congratulations to the new cohort of Juicy Butterflies. Just to acknowledge all the work that you have done for yourself, and to thank you, because all the work that you do for yourself also benefits all of humanity, and all of the women that are coming that I know are lined up to take part in the process that you just completed. So thank you for paving the way and for just being willing to show up in that way. Okay. So, so it came to me to talk about the law of attraction from a negative space. And I don't know if there's any photographers on the call today, but negative space is just as important to the law of attraction, and is just as important to you understanding, being able to see your purpose for being here in this incarnation. Negative space, the negative end of the polarity, is just as powerful and just as important, and actually plays a positive role in the law of attraction. I don't know if you got that. But the negative space the negative side of the polarity plays just as important role in you being able to see your life, right? Your life in its fullness, because we need contrast. You cannot see the positive without the negative. We need the contrast. And so I want to give you maybe a different definition of negative, one that is more neutral, right? So we talk about positive and negative and neutral. Negative, what if it were just characterized by the absence of anything that doesn't move you forward, that doesn't align you with, that doesn't take you towards your vision, characterized by the absence of something. And that is not good nor bad. It is just the absence of something. And the way that it works for you is that it lets you see, maybe this doesn't really line up. And then if it doesn't line up, do we really want it attracted to us, right? I know a lot of times with the law of attraction, we may be thinking about drawing things to us, right, the law of attraction. Typically, for me, when I was learning about the law of attraction, for the most part, the emphasis was put on pulling, something to us. Well, what if we thought about everything that you could desire, do desire, intend to ever desire, if it already existed in your auric field, if it already existed in your pattern, if you were the pattern master who came to the planet with it already imprinted on your auric field? You do. You came here with it. And so what if all you had to do was allow the negative side of the polarity to work for you? That looks like allowing the repelling to happen. We always think we're thinking about drawing, usually, when we're thinking about the law of attraction. It's fall right now. And when fall happens, we see that nature allows things to move away, to fall. And what if that was all you had to do? What if this season, what if this time you played with, you practiced just allowing the negative side of the polarity to work for you? If it all works together for our good, what if this season, instead of fighting to hold on to something, what if we said, you know what, I've heard of these forces of nature, and this time I'm going to trust them. I'm going to actually consciously work them. That's another conversation for another day, but just know that your ancestors are your first line of defense. And sisters, when you have situations coming towards you, trying to be attracted to you because of maybe where you are in a certain time, certain moment in time, the positive side, you may be attracting things that are actually negative for you. You may be attracting things that are actually going to work against you. And so the forces of nature and your very first defense, your Egun, your ancestors, are going to say, no, not for our child, not for our daughter. And so what if, instead of getting upset when these things that in your humanity you're wanting, you're desiring these things, but you're getting blocked at all these times, you look around, it's like, why isn't this working out? Why isn't this working out? I'm going to invite you to go a little deeper this time and to let the pattern pull. Let the pattern, let the ancestors, let the forces of nature, let them unfold. Let them actually repel things from you, because that is the other side of the law of attraction. It's working. It's working. Instead of fighting for our limitation, instead of fighting for things to stay the way they are, because we're used to that, our humanity gets caught up in these patterns of things we see, we feel, we hear, we taste, we touch. And so what if this time we said, you know what? I'm going to go to a higher place, and I'm going to climb up the mountain a little bit, and I'm going to see what I can see from this higher place. Oh, I can see the pattern a little bit better from here. And instead of being moved by the five senses, we understand that we came here imprinted with a pattern on our soul, in our auric field. And if we allow that pattern to just do what it do, and if we really believe it's working for us, then those things that need to move away, they will. They will have their own fall season. And our main thing is, the main thing that you can do to best support yourself when this is happening, when you're in this season, is don't go around picking up these leaves that have fallen off the tree. Let it fall. Let it go. And understanding that there's nothing you have to do once you choose to align with the energy, that pattern that you came here with. It will do the work. You just pay attention. Just pay attention. I want to leave you with a little acronym here that might help you. And the first line is remember, the R. Remember that you have a pattern. Okay, that pattern is working all the time for you, even when it's moving things away. Number 2, align. Align with your pattern. It's unfolding. It has been unfolding your whole life. Get still aligned with that pattern. Fall is a perfect time to do that. Right? Experience. Trust your ancestors. Trust the forces of nature that are working on your behalf. But to experience it, you have to trust. And then lastly, the L, pattern, pull. Let your pattern unfold. Just watch. And so all together that says real. The life you'll begin to see will then be, I don't want to say more real, but the reality will be different that you're living in, because everything will be aligned with your divine pattern. So there is your conversation today for the law of abundance, taken from a little bit different spin. I'm so grateful for the time to speak to you this morning. And Sis LaTanya, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you so much for sharing this morning, Reverend Tabira, and I appreciate that sharing, because that we always sometimes think that love and light means that we don't deal with the negative, we don't face the negative, we don't use the negative, but the negative is a part of the equation of spiritual mathematics. And so in spiritual mathematics, you work with fractions. You move decimals. You sometimes you do geometry, and then there is the elevation of all of that, which is sacred geometry, where you find yourself in the mathematics. Now, if this is your first time hearing any of these terms, don't dumb down your feminine intelligence, your divine knowing. Just know that you are not here by accident, that all your steps are ordered by God. And so God is in the ordering of steps into this call today. But stay put on your seatbelts, because we have sisters who are freshly initiated and open from their process, and there are a few of them who I've invited to give their sermonette. And this is so perfect, a perfect build in the law of attraction from what Sabira just shared with us at the law of abundance. Of course, we're focused on the law of attraction, but I like the energy of law of abundance because we're going to be giving you some of the living from this overflow after our sisters got their cup full. So I would like to bring Camille to the line this morning because I don't know all of the phone numbers. I'm going to have to unmute quite a few lines here. Oh, good. I can hear you. Go ahead. No, you don't have any background noise. Perfect.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. First of all, Latanya, thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Are you on speaker? Are you on speaker? Can you not be on speaker?
I took it off.
We can hear you clean.
Sure, I took it off.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I took it off.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. No, that's okay. So good morning to all my sisters. And as I was saying, first of all, thank you for opening up the space for us and giving us a chance to share. And to the sister who spoke before us, what I take away from that is that the fall, we always think when something is falling away, something bad, and we have to grasp it. So thank you for the reminder that, sometimes the fall is good. And I would say what I got away from last weekend and the rites of passage and everything like that, and even though you said this a million times, it really resonated with me, and it's just to say yes. It's just to say yes. Sometimes it's difficult to say yes because it's yes and or it's yes but. But from my process with you, I realized that I just need to say yes with an exclamation point, and that's all I need to do. It's just that simple. When you say yes, that's when things starting to fall into place. And I know for me, I used to focus on my no mores, like what I don't want, what I don't like. But what I realize is that when I focus on my yes, that I don't have to worry about the no. For instance, if I'm focusing on self-love and self-worth, everything that does not align with that will automatically fall off, or I will not pay attention to it because I'm focusing on the yes. And it's the same thing. Like if you're trying to lose weight, you don't have to say no to carbs or no to this. You just focus on the healthy living, and you focus on what you want. Another thing I would say is that a full yes, because I have said yes before, but half-heartedly, and I realized like a full yes with an exclamation point is so magical. And the thing is, it sounds so simple, and that's why I wanted to make that my point, because sometimes we like to complicate things, or sometimes we want some kind of big formula, or something fancy. But I realized like a full yes exclamation point is the beginning of manifestation and the end of confusion. And all I have to do is stand fully in my yes. Even if I stand in my yes afraid, I realize that the more I stand firm in my yes is the less fear that I have. So that's what I got away from the process. That's the transformation that I received, is that when I said yes, I could practically say that a 360 happened for me. I expected to have some growth in the rites of passage. I expected to learn some new rituals, but I honestly did not expect a 360 transformation. But I was trusting in Mama Latanya. I was accepting her guidance, and it's almost like I was floating on her, and I just said yes, and that's what happened for me. So that's my implore to everyone on the call, is to just say yes. Find you a mentor, find you a coach, say yes to them, and just see what happens for you. Thank you. Hello?
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. You're flowing like the river you are. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just the authority in your voice I can hear, everyone else may not know what I'm talking about, but that's okay, because we have some sacred spaces where we all know. And trust me when I tell you, the power and the authority that you hear from Camille is real. So thank you so much for sharing. So who's next? Who wants to jump right on in and pass the baton? When we pray or when we do something like this, we give our word, we give our prayer, and then we say, I pass to my sister. So who are we passing to this morning? Who's taking the baton?
Good morning, Latanya. Good morning, Latanya. Good morning, sisters. This is Alicia.
All right. And in this space, I want you all to honor me a little bit with the Reverend Latanya. Y'all mind in this worship space in here?
No, we do not. No, I do not.
All right. Thank you.
I honor you. I honor you, Reverend Sister Midwife Priestess Latanya. I do not mind.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So,
take it away.
What I started this place really in my head, as Rev Coach Latanya says, and I started off very wordy, and this process has given me a chance to be open to a place where I see I don't have to be wordy. I don't need to explain myself. And so this past weekend, it gave me a visual that had been formulating over the 3 months of the Rites of Passage program, because we still have, the second cohort still has 3 months to go. And so I would just like to share with you what flowed from me, what I received, a visual that I had over the weekend, and I just received it on Monday when I came back. So I will just read this and pass the baton. Effervescence. She grabs the rose water and her body dips. Her head back, it flows, river deep. As she moves, I am moved, lifted. Beyond here, past tomorrow. From her mouth, the mouth that kissed my wounds and laid bare my truth. Her mouth that quivers a bit on the left when she teaches gifts. From her mouth, our mouths, droplets of rose water, leap, mist, effervescence, almighty. She consecrates all our desires. Again, she throws her head back, erupting, cascading rose water, and the altar in me, clean, pure, a fire. And now it is done. Over. I cannot walk back where I have been. A caged bird. No more. Thank you. I thank you for this space. I honor this space. And I turn the baton back over.
Wow. She's passing to her sister. Who's next?
I'll pick up the baton. Good morning, sisters. This is Ariel. I want to give honor to Father, Mother, God, and honor to the High Priestess of this space, to Reverend Latanya, our coach, our midwife, our mother, who lovingly held space for all of us on our journey. And I give thanks for all of my ancestors, for my spirit guides, for everyone in their support, including my Juicy Butterfly sisters. And I just want to encourage and put into the space this morning to encourage you to slow down in order to speed up. And I moved from California to the DMV area 4 years ago, and God just told me to move. And when my vision was I was going to be here and I was going to be out in the streets popping and making everything happen, and that it was very ego-based. It was, everything that influences the world is happening in Washington, D.C., and I definitely have a space and I have a voice for to be in the midst of all of that. And none of that happened. Absolutely none of it. I came and I was immediately deflated, having dealt with issues in my body, having reoccurring flare-ups of an illness, being put out of housing, having a job that I felt like I didn't deserve, making $20 an hour after having made $60,000 a year. And I just said, I give up. I'm surrendering to the process because none of what I'm doing in my own strength or what I thought I was doing is working. And I decided to just let go and surrender. And that's when I met Mama LaTanya. And in that space, I knew that it was for me to work with her. And one of the things that I walked away with from our consecration weekend, actually there were two. There was a word that she prepared for each of us, and a part of that word was that I am being prepared. So I just want you to know that wherever you are on your journey, that you are being prepared for greater, for the unfolding of the highest and greatest of who you are, and to allow the process to unfold as it is supposed to, as the sisters have already spoken so beautifully and so eloquently, that to use all of your resources, including the negative space, including that which you may not be able to see. And additionally, during the process, we were in one of our spaces and my pants began to fall off. And Mama spoke to me and she said, it's time to let your pants fall off and stop wearing the pants. And I said, yes. And I said, yes. And I let those bad boys go because I am no longer, and I have surrendered to the process. And so I just encourage you for in any moment where you feel like you may be trying to run the show and have the pants in your relationship with God, in your relationship with your destiny, that you let those pants drop and that you surrender to the nakedness, surrender to being seen, surrender to being supported by your sisters, by your ancestors, by the leaders that have been placed in your life, that you just let go. And as they say, let God.
Wow.
And that's all I have. And I am passing the baton to the next sister.
Who's got next?
I have
Hopefully
it, Mama Reverend LaTanya. This is Vanessa.
Come on in. Come on in the room.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so much. And Reverend Sabira, I wanted to say that when you were talking, it reminded me about a process in art called charcoal erase. In charcoal erase, you fill your paper with charcoal and you erase out your image. If it's a self-portrait or whatever image you're going for. And I've experienced that in the past, and now I can better understand why I was prepared for that, which I think is fantastic. And from consecration, I'm still flying. I think consecration, I think the entire rites of passage was just what my soul needed. I had gone so far away from myself and needed help coming back to who I am, and needed help coming back to seeing all that I was capable of and all the manifestations that had happened along the way that I was only partly present for. And if those things can happen when I'm partly present, oh my goodness, what can unfold when I'm fully online?
And I'm just so thankful. I'm just so thankful for the sisterhood. My goodness. I'm thankful for being seen in those ways that Ariel spoke of, and for being able to be naked with my sisters completely, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And I thank you, Reverend Latanya, Mama Latanya, for that opportunity and for that experience.
Come on through with a word now in this space, Vanessa. I look forward to hearing more from you. Oh, my goodness. Come on, Juicy Butterfly.
Look, Mama,
Go ahead.
Latanya, I was putting away tarot cards. I was putting away my tarot cards. They weren't in boxes for years. I went and got the boxes, put them back in the boxes, and in one box, one card was sitting there for years, had not been in one of my decks. It was the healed card.
Oh, chill.
Ooh, and all
my
I
God.
could think of was hearing you say, "You are healed."
Mm. Oh, my God. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, you are healed is her word. So if you are running water in your kitchen at all, preparing your coffee, washing dishes, please mute yourself. We like to keep the call clean. She probably can't hear us because when you are doing those things, that's the sound that the phone picks up. So, is there more? Is there one more?
One more. Good morning, you guys. This is yes, and I believe there's a speaker. This is Melissa.
Go ahead. All right now.
Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Go ahead, love.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. This morning I'd like to give thanks to Spirit of Divine Creator that brought us all in here this morning, and a special thank you to Reverend Latanya. What can I say about my experience? Oh, my goodness. This beautiful light in this woman kind of shined a really huge sun ray into all my dark corners, and I couldn't be more thankful. I was in a very stuck place. I got an opportunity to release so much anger that has blocked so many things for me. It's almost like knowing that there's more out there and feeling constricted, too constricted to go get it. When you know something is there for you, it becomes pretty painful when you realize you can't get it. It's even more pain in knowing it's accessible, but you're in your own way. Her seeing me meant the world to me. Not just seeing my face, not just seeing my behavior, but seeing me, seeing my light inside, demanding that it comes out because I get to vibrate much higher. I think I said to her, I realize now a lot of us walk around being woke, but half of us ain't awakened. And that's what that did for me. I'm super thankful for every single experience. I'm not even counting my own. I'm counting the ones that were in that room that day, or all those days. Those beautiful sisters just were mirrors, were reflections of where I was, where I've been, and where I get to go. They might not have been ones that I've had before. A lot of them were. But the opening for everyone was just, you couldn't stand in that space and not move with the power. It was like a river flowing you through all of it. It was being born again. I have felt a new me emerge, and I couldn't be happier. There is no going back to any of that anymore. It's once you know better, you do better. I realize the world hasn't changed whether I have or not. That used to matter. Now it doesn't at all. I'm moving in spite of fears. I'm moving in spite of judgment. I'm moving in spite of I'm moving for me. There is no spite. I'm moving for me now, and it feels good. So I'm very, very thankful. I'm looking forward to continuing my sisterhoods, the new ones that I've created, the old ones that I plan to foster and build. Just in a very, very beautiful, happy, bright space now, and I know it took the work for me to get there, and the work continues.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing, everyone. If you are a part of the Juicy Spirit Tribe and you didn't get a chance to share and you wanted to share, we definitely can have you return next week or another week to give your sermonette, not even just about the experience in the room, but just your whatever Spirit opened in you that can bless another sister. Like, I'm always thinking about the woman who's watching. I'm always thinking about the woman who's watching the comments, who's watching the breakthroughs, who hears the language of women who are challenging their freedom and being set free. I'm always thinking about your sister whose name you don't know yet, but she is you. And so those sisters come in and off this call all the time. They come in, they listen, because this is a space where God and woman go together in a way that is not apologetic, that is not has to jump through hoops, one where you don't have to feel guilty for the choices that you made, but you can be accountable to the Spirit that is calling you forward to do a different thing for your bloodline. I'm always thinking about the woman who wants to and is afraid. They've been told that they can't connect to women, or they've been saying that they don't have the money. I'm thinking about you, sister, the one of you who you slip in and you say, well, I'm shy and I don't like talking in a group. Or you may say, well, I don't want them to know my business. But the thing is, when you're starting to protect your business, most of the people are already in it. Because if you got to protect it, then oftentimes somebody got involved in it in other ways that anyway. And so the truth is we don't really have any business like that. We can have privacy and discretion without hiding and without stuffing our voice down. And so if you are, whether you've been coming to the call and sliding on and being quiet, or whether you are here for the first time, I want to just open the door and leave a space for God. And that God enters in through the room through you, and not just coming into spaces waiting for what it is that you want somebody to deposit in you. Because you know what Spirit says, he who has, but I say she, who has begun a good work in you shall complete it. It's a good work that has been begun in many of us. It's a good work. Even when you sit down, you might eat something that you don't really like. It's not good for you. You know that another plate of macaroni and cheese is good to you, but it's not good for you. But you can look over it and bless it and say it is good. There are some situations that we've experienced, like Reverend Sabira just spoke about, that sometimes feel like it's the negative. But see, when you step into your womanly self, you got to be able to navigate the waters that sometimes take you into the negative space, because you can only go into a cave for so long without coming through on the other side if you ride the wave. And so I want to open the space for anyone new here that your belly jumped from something you heard from one of your sisters. Is there anyone who didn't get a chance to speak or who doesn't speak much, or you're new to this space that heard something that made your belly jump? Don't be shy. Walk on up in here like you belong here, because you do. The lines are open. Must be family in the room today. Any of the family heard anything that made your belly jump this morning?
Good morning. This is Dana. I just give thanks.
Hey, Reverend Dana. Minister
Good
Dana, sorry.
Good morning. I give thanks for, first of all, for Reverend Sabera coming on and just reminding us that even the negative comes in play when it comes to the law of attraction. I mean, when you talk about magnetism, one of the first things that you learn is opposites attract. There's a positive, but then there's also the negative. So when you're attracting, you have to have the opposite in play. You have to have the negative in play as well as the positive. And so that was an awesome reminder for me this morning because I know I am one that works in the light a lot. And when negative comes, I tend to try to repel it. And that reminder was for me to draw it closer, draw it in, and allow it to attract and bring forth the things that I desire. And as for all the sisters that just went through the consecration weekend and ceremony, I just give thanks to each and every one of you. Your spirits are just so big and so amazing. And the experiences that you had, there is more to come, and I just give thanks for that. And even for myself personally, wow, I just remember saying all this week, I'm still there. I'm not completely back yet. There's parts of me still there. And I heard Spirit say to me, yeah, and there's some parts of you that don't need to come back. There. And so I give thanks for this Spirit moving and helping me to release and to go higher and to elevate even more. And so, Reverend Latanya, thank you. Thank you for your due diligence and your work and your faith. Thank you for your covering over each and every one of us and sowing into our lives. Thank you for this space that we have on Sunday mornings to come together and commune in spirit. And that's all I can say. I just give thanks.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who served on the team. If you are on the call, we have to we're going to have our own special space to really unpack and debrief, but I cannot tell you how each one of you fill a role that I prayed for years before I knew how the role was going to flow. I did how or when or what. And so just know that each one of you who said yes, who showed up, who adjusted, who moved with me, especially to Dawn, because the music and stuff is so important to my work as I'm ordained through the office of praise and worship. And just to work side by side with me, Dawn Peterson, if you are on the line, I just want to give you more love to just love me enough to tolerate when I needed just to take the DJ's take over the DJ seat. So
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. So I go ahead.
I just wanted to say it was such an honor to serve and to be there, to witness the Juicy Butterflies, to hear them say yes to themselves and to go higher. It was such an honor to work along with my sisters. I just thank you for, all that you do, all that you've done, even though, I said no a couple of times. Without you knowing, I said no. But it was such an honor. It was such an honor. In spite of the tooth pain I was feeling, it was such an honor. And it caused me to want to, be present, even with me dealing with, what I was dealing with. It just caused me to want to be present with the sisters. Like Dana said, it's still a high that we're on. I'm still on a high from that. I really am. and ooh-wee, it was good. It was good. So if someone's on a call and they missed it, oh my goodness, you missed such a wonderful, wonderful display of love for themselves and for Mama, the love that Mama has for them. Thank you.
Y'all want to be in the room next year?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm going to be in the room every year. I will be there.
So, I love you all, and I just know that you are the team. You are answer to my prayers. Prayers, even when you don't know what to ask for, and Spirit loves you enough with grace and mercy to send people to say, I'm here. And my husband thanks you all, just sends love to you, and he feels like his life was changed through serving the Divine Mother in all of us. So I want to take this moment now and shift into our prayer. I know folks have things to do, but sometimes it's important to, even in the negative space, to let the flow happen and not be so planned and booked and managing your calendar that you can't be present for God, for the door of Spirit to come in an hour or so, Booked and busy is cute, but sometimes it gets ugly when ain't nobody looking. It's cute when you want to post it on Facebook. You booked and busy. But it can be real ugly when you're tired and rushing all the time. When you post something and nobody likes it because your validation is coming from the external instead of being validated from the internal. Oh, yeah, booked and busy is cute, and we think that we're flowing in abundance and prosperity, but still sometimes the lack consciousness will show up when nobody is in the room but you and your altar and your prayers. But do you pray them, or do you roll out and just rush off to the next thing? Oh, yeah, booked and busy is cute when you go live and it's a lot of, the number count goes up. I got to talk about social media because we are becoming really crazy with comparison and overwhelmed with false illusions that we define ourselves by to keep us rushing from one thing to the next thing, never present and available for anything, and wonder why what you really want is not showing up. So this is the time where if you can just create a space with your breath. Your breath always creates a space between the energy of control, the energy of craziness. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. The breath calls in the divine. The breath is the thing that you don't have to think about, but you do it automatically. And sometimes we forget to just take one and give one. Sometimes we forget to just say, wait a minute, when it's not flowing, but I can breathe without any assistance. What? Come on now. We got to take it to the basics. But I can walk without any crutches or a cane. Wait now. I might have some body aches, but I can lift up the bag. I can move just the little things. Imagine if you just got into that crack between you of getting from here to there. Because we're always trying to get somewhere. But what about the things that I can just do right now? Oh, maybe I cannot go sing for a career, but I can sing myself happy. I might not be good at math, but I got a little money that I can count. I can pay attention to so it can grow. Because what you pay attention to is what grows, is what the law of attraction says. A lot of us are out of order financially most of the time just because we don't pay attention. Spiritual mathematics here we're talking. And so when we take this moment to take a breath, we're doing more than just going through the motion. It's an opportunity for me to say Selah. That's the space of worship and praise that's in the pause. Selah, Holy Spirit, come. Holy Spirit, come. Holy Spirit, come. Holy Spirit, come. And in this space, if you can just think of your ancestors, the mothers, whose names sometimes we don't know until we ask. The great-great-grandmother. See, everybody didn't struggle in your line. Everybody wasn't abused and molested in your line. Everybody didn't pick cotton in your line. So when you call, don't just call on the ones that struggle. Call on the ones who prayed for you to be the one to remember. Oh, come on now. We can invite them into the room. Speak the names of the ones that you know so that the names of the ones that you don't know will make themselves acquainted to you. Come on now. Begin to speak their names of the ones you know. Joseph Taylor, Mary Della Davis, Priscilla Noble, Ashe. Ashe. Come on now. Speak them now. Speak them now. Ashe. Reverend Sabira, can you take us higher? You can continue to speak the names. Reverend Sabira, you can pray us the word of God.
To all of the grandmothers and the great-grandmothers and the great-great-grandmothers and on and on and on since the beginning of time, which we know there is no beginning of time. Time just is. And all of that time, the lineage was there. And I'm so grateful, and I'm acknowledging every ancestor that is present right now. And I give thanks and I give praise, and I'm just excited. And my sisters, I want you to be and get excited. Be and get excited in this season of fall and of looking at the law of attraction and the law of abundance and learning how to work with that negative space. I'm grateful that we understand that it is in those places that are what we call dark, where so much is opened and aware, that so much is open to our awareness. Mothers and great-grandmothers, I ask that you give us the clear vision, the clear eyes to see if there is something in our eye that is obstructing us from being able to see even in the dark, especially in the dark. Then I ask that you go ahead and pluck it out. I'm so grateful that we are trusted. We are the entrusted ones in the lineage who has access to this information. I'm grateful that we are learning how to activate. I'm grateful that we are all learning how to direct and redirect and stand in mastery and power with the vision, with the mothers, always giving acknowledgement. I'm so grateful for all that we can create and co-create and recreate because we know who we are and because we can embrace the negative and work with that as well as the positive.
Yes.
I give thanks and praise for the women in our lineage who did not pick cotton, who did not struggle in strife, that we have their blood to call upon as well. And I ask that they continue to push us up and through and forward and hold us up and remind us that they too are here. Remind us always that they too run through our bloodlines. And so as we go into this new season in this last quarter of this year, I'm going to ask that we keep those women at the forefront of our minds. I'm just hearing that they don't get the acknowledgement enough. Mm-hmm. And that if we would just but call upon them, just just maybe our spirits will be lifted all the time, more of the time. Mm-hmm. And we will go to that higher place, that higher calling, and ask those women to sit with us during times of whatever it is we might be going through. Call upon those women, them present in the space in our hearts and our minds and our consciousness, and move out into this next week with them walking and clearing the way before us. I see that, and I'm so grateful. Giving thanks. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you so much, sisters, for coming and sharing this space. Whenever we come together, we create a womb space, a sacred temple, a special place of a threshing floor that's just for us, so that we can rise to the occasion that is being called on our lives and our unique anointing. I pray that this week will be fruitful to you and that you will multiply yourselves exponentially, that your desires, your visions, your dreams will flow to you because you are in the flow. And when you find yourself getting in the way, remember this word this morning of the negative space so you can get out of the way. Connect with us. We're getting ready for Juicy in January. And those of you who are here for the first time, get with the person who invited you. I'm going to do some special previews for you. I have a special announcement for the newly initiated Juicy Butterflies that I think you'll like for the next coming month. And I just love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. See you all on the other side. Have a good day. Thank you, Reverend Sabir. I love you as well.
I love you, sister.
Thank you.
Ashe. Love you, sisters.